Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, simply welcome. My name is Angel, aka the Angelic Muse, and I am back here today with another pick a card reading for you guys. So on this pick a card, we're going to be focusing on what makes you stand out from everyone else, what unique traits or qualities or whatever it is that makes you unique to the rest. So we have 3 piles for you guys to choose from today. So on the first pile, we have blue Celestite crystal. Your second pile is the raw Aventurine crystal. And then your third pile is, I'm just going to call that one an unknown stone because I tried so hard to Google that thing. Like I really did. Like I have like paperwork and stuff that like kind of differentiates which crystals which, but I could not find it for that one, and there's a few more up there that I just don't know. So I already told y'all in the beginning, if you been here with me, that I was going to just say, listen, this is what this crystal is. So if you are gravitating towards that crystal, then you go ahead and choose it. But if I can find a name for it, I will put it in the description box below to edit it. But I'm not going to stress myself about it. What was I going to say? So yeah, we have 3 piles for you guys to choose from. You can pause the video right now and meditate on whatever pile it is that you want. If you gravitate towards 1 pile, that's fine. If you gravitate towards 2, that's fine. And if it's none, that's okay too. This just is not your reading today. But I would like to see you back here for more if possible. And I'm also going to have all the decks down below in the description box that I am using, as well as all of my links where you can book me for a personal session. I do intuitive tarot sessions as well as distance Reiki sessions over on my website at www.theangelicmuse.com, and you can book me over there. You can also follow me on Instagram at theangelicmuse if you'd like to connect with me more. But other than that, we can get into your reading. So go ahead and pause the video and meditate if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you at your timestamp. Hey, pile 1. So if you chose the Celestite crystal, here is your reading. So we're going to start out with your tarot first. For your first card, we have the 6 of Cups. For your second card, we have the Devil. And then for your third card, we have the Chariot in reverse. So, starting out with this 6 of Cups energy here, I feel like what makes you stand out is your giving way, your nurturing and giving way, your ability to find fairness in situations that aren't necessarily equal, or your ability to at least push for fairness in situations that may not necessarily always be equal. For example, like say in the workplace, it's not always equal. You have employees, you have supervisors, you have managers. You know, as far as titles go, it's not equal, but you may be the type to always push for fairness. If you're in a management role, maybe taking care of your employees, or if you're an employee and you see, you know, other things going on, unfairness or inequality, not inequality, but like, or even if it's inequality amongst other employees, you may be the type to advocate for them in a sense. But this 6 of Cups is also all about, you know, just giving and sharing your gifts, and, you know, making sure that everyone has like a slice of the pie, I should say, even if the pieces aren't necessarily always equal. With this Devil energy here, I feel like you have been through a fair dealing of things. Maybe things that we all go through, toxic relationships, drug habits, just being in this darker energy. We all have, you know, been there once or twice, maybe more than that, but you seem to have mastered that part of yourself here. With this Chariot in reverse, I feel like what you have the ability to, like, your discernment is on point. You have the ability to see all sides of a situation. You don't necessarily pass judgment in a sense where it you look down on others. You have a more nurturing and caring personality to you, despite what you've been through. And despite maybe having to go it alone, you still seem to have this nurturing, caring, motherly way to you. You don't necessarily have to be a mother or a woman, but it's just you just operate your energy when it comes to your emotions and embracing and seeing the perspectives of others is very, very, very on point. You've mastered your mind, and just your overall quality of life is just a lot better since you've come up out of these things. And I feel like you have a lot to share with those around you, if you feel called to. You may actually be pushed to, in a sense, or like led to. I'll say not led, pushed, but led to, in a sense. And it's up to you to choose that. But you definitely do have a caring and nurturing way to you, despite your. Actually, I think that what it is that these moments that you have found yourself in darker places, is actually you've used them as a catalyst in order to propel you forward. And you have a story to tell, and you're able to put your experiences into words, and people are able to like relate to you in a way that at times you may even find to be surprising. And it may come from all walks of life. You may have like an attraction to children or to animals or to just things that more you. And the only reason I said I was gonna say things that are more like innocent, and I only say that because I feel like these darker moments that you've been in, you've surpassed it to the point where your life now is like you're at a moment where you're pausing and reflecting on what it is that you've been through. And if you don't give yourself enough credit, you definitely should. I just want to say that now, because what makes you stand out is just this right here is something that some people never get through. These devil moments, these toxic relationships, these toxic ways of being and just thinking and doing things. A lot of people don't pull themselves out of it. So give yourself credit if you do not, because this is definitely like, it stands out. People see it, they feel it when they speak to you, when they talk to you. Just a simple interaction with you could just be life changing for this group. But let me get into your oracle cards here. So for your first card, you have Uranus change, represented by the number 25. Your second card says caregiver support. Your third card says words of abundance. You have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms. And that is what you attract for yourself and others. And then you have failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So starting out with this change here, represented by the planet Uranus. Uranus is a very, very like erratic planet. Like you kind of, it'll shift things within a moment. And it's interesting here because maybe the devil card here, whatever it is that you've experienced, whatever darker moments you've experienced, maybe you or other people had it out for you where you'd be a certain way, and you kind of took that. Like I said, you used it as a catalyst to propel you and to create this new energy where you're able to build a story. And despite the fears and the twists and turns that come with it, you were able to create this new, like this new way of being and this new way of going. Like you didn't even see yourself going that way, even with this Chariot in reverse here being like it's like a full stop moment here where like everything just, it's like I wasn't even expecting it. So I think that because you didn't expect it, there's even more reason to believe it to be a miracle, which they happen. all the time. I think that getting used to your miracles or getting used to the goodness that is to come in your life will allow you to see why this stands out so much, why these traits within you stand out so much. With this caregiver support card, it's interesting because these two, like the Six of Cups could represent like ancestral gifts being passed down, but this caregiver support, it's like a hand reaching down from heaven almost. And then your hand here, I feel like you're very much supported. And I think that's another reason why it may come as a shock to you. Sometimes you may sit in life and just be like, wow, like I can't believe I'm here. I came from this and I'm here. And to know that it is a gift, to know that it was gifted from God, to know that you are fully supported by your ancestors is going to also allow you to see why this stands out so much, why you are different from everybody else. Because this energy in itself, like you could look around now on social media in like in pretty much any stream and you'll see not much of this. You have to really go looking for this kind of energy in today's world. So it's definitely a beautiful blessing and a standout moment for you, like that you're even here, or you are able to we're even able to say these things about you, even with words of abundance. Like I said, if you feel called to tell your story, then I feel like you're strongly being led to do that. Especially, like I said, with this Six of Cups here and this caregiver card, you have the opportunity here to use your words, use your story, use your experiences to tell the story that maybe other people that you're not aware of are going through. But like I said, there are a lot of people who don't come out of this devil energy, and they could use the light that you bring here. But again, that's only if you are up to, to doing that and sharing yourself and make, because it is a vulnerable thing to do, to share your experiences, and you don't want to create yourself out to be like make it out to be something that you do not enjoy as far as life goes, just going through the motions. And being able to share that with others. You don't want to become like a victim to your own situation, so just use your discernment that you definitely have and make that choice on your own. But you definitely, like I said, you have a lot of experiences that you've been through, and your path, the path that you have, may be very different from others, but the qualities that will be obtained from this journey that you're on will be well worth it in the end. And even now, well worth it just throughout life. But with this failure, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Again, I feel like that's going back to you telling your story, or just your life's moments in general. Like, you don't take a lesson, or you don't take a hard moment and just leave it at that. You create it into a lesson that you're able to build from. You'll actually analyze the situation and say to yourself, okay, what can I learn here? How can I get up out of this? Where can I go next? Like, you're asking all the right questions, and it takes a strong mind to be able to do that. It really does, because it's so easy to stay comfortable. It's so easy to be like stuck in the same cycle just because everyone else is there, or do what the mass majority is doing. But to actually pull yourself up out of something, and even if whether you did it on your own or just with the spirit of God within you, then that's one thing. But if you like as opposed to having like a group of people, but this energy just gives me like you kind of made your own way, and you have a whole story, and it's beautiful, and you have an enormous amount of gifts, if you don't already know that are waiting to be tapped into. And it really all is in the power of your words, and the words in which you speak. So, but I love this energy. We could definitely be friends. But Power One, this is all I have for you here. I thank you so much for being here. If this resonated with you, please let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal session with me, you can do so at my website, www.theangelicmuse.com. And you can also follow me over on Instagram at The Angelic Muse if you like to connect with me over there as well. But other than that, I thank you so much for being here, and I pray you enjoy the rest of your day or night. Hey, Pal 2. So if you chose the raw aventurine crystal, here is your reading. So starting out with your tarot, you have the Queen of Cups upright for your first card, the Death card upright for your second card, and then the Three of Wands in reverse for your last card. So, I feel like what makes you stand out from everyone else is your ability to persevere, especially when it comes to your emotions, and just like your ability to keep going despite knowing what's to come. Your resilience, the way you honor your emotions throughout the process, the way you are accepting of what isn't for you and what is for you, and the way you just go with the flow with things. I'm noticing both water in both, the Queen of Cups and the Three of Wands here. And I feel like you've already gone through whatever it is that may have tested you in the past, as far as whatever you used to let get to you emotionally. I feel like you're past that to a point where no matter what it is that you are put up to the test with this Death card here, the black in here, and the mystery of it all, and just not knowing what's to come, I think you are very mindful of the sun here that does shine in the background, and the way that it is at the forefront here with this Three of Wands in reverse energy. You have this optimistic tone and like way to you, despite the paths that or the hands that you've been dealt. I think that you're very understanding that death in itself is not a negative, but it's just the beginning of something else. It's just unknown to us. I think you're very comfortable with the unknown. You're very comfortable with channeling, and you have a very strong connection to your spiritual team. I get with this pile. Like, it just seems like you're very unwavering and unmoving despite whatever is thrown at you. And you have the ability to make something out of what others may see as nothing as well. When you having this ability to keep going and start over, I feel like you may be the type where you do a lot of inner work and behind the scenes. So when you do come back out with something, or you do show your face again, it may seem to others as if you've started from scratch, whereas internally, and then the people closest to you know the ins and outs, but ultimately the real concern or the real focus for you is on what's to come, whether you know it or not. You're not really focused on like outside or past influences or perspectives over your life. But let me get into your oracle here, if I can pick them up. So for your first card, you have ninth house exploration, represented by the number 47. Your second card says obstacles and blocks are lifted. All your good personal work and your positive energy shift have overcome previous obstacles, and blocks are lifted away. You will now experience progress and forward movement with your projects. Stay centered in gratitude to ensure that your flow of abundance continues. You have the explorer with adventure, and then indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. So going back to what I was saying, where you may have this, you do have a strong connection to your spiritual team or your higher source, whatever it is. You use your intuition. You're very adaptable and flowy with this Queen of Cups energy. I just see um like this ethereal type spirit, like just someone who just is like very light-hearted and just freeing to be around. Your energy in itself is just very calming and surreal, even to some. They're probably like, how does she or he do that? Like it really doesn't make sense to a lot of people how you're able to navigate or go through these maybe ego deaths or just these harder transitions and create something from it. Like even here it says obstacles and blocks are lifted with this, and you have the explorer twice. Not only that, like I said, you have with an obstacle or on a block, for you that's just like a maze, whereas for other people they're like, oh hell no, I'm not dealing with this, where you have this, like I said, this resilience to you. You have this adaptability to you. You have this flow to you, and you're like a natural born explorer. You don't feel like there's only one way in and out of this thing. You feel like you could, if this way doesn't work, I'll try this way. Like I said, making something out of nothing, essentially what it looks like to other people. And then with this obstacles and blocks are lifted card here, I feel like if for whatever reason, you clicked on this to figure out what stands out from you, you weren't expecting this, I do feel like it's important to um just be mindful of the good qualities that you have. Even like I said, you do have what it takes to maneuver around these things. But with this being here, I do feel like for some, maybe you're looking for that like that message of encouragement there, and just know that resilience and that ability to create something out of nothing. You may be feeling like, damn, why do I keep having to create something out of nothing? But I feel like that's being lifted to where you kind of, like I said, you've gone through all the obstacles needed here in order to kind of put you to the test, in a sense. Not really a test, but just like to go over your progress, whereas you'll be seeing lighter energy come in here with this more like stable, stagnant kind of water. Not stagnant. It's stagnant in a sense where it's still. I'll say still water. Not to say that you're going to be in like a stagnant energy, but just something that isn't as heavy to deal with. But with this ninth house exploration card here, I feel like you may be being encouraged to continue on with the way you do explore or brainstorm or just get through your obstacles and your dealings and whatever it is that you go through in your personal life. Like specifically for you, you want to just continue to experiment and with the way that you have that ability, if that makes sense, and that will continue to open and create new doors for you, so that when you continue to come up to these like crossroads where you're like in an expansive energy, it's like, okay, I can go this way or go that way, you're able to find whatever way best fits you or best fits your current circumstance. But again, like I said, your ability to honor your emotions and keep them in check, whether like you see it or not, people mess up a lot with their emotions. You could have the worst attitude in the world for 5 minutes and mess up something that could affect 5 years of your life. Whereas that's not necessarily the angle in which you're coming from. That was just an example, like, because people don't understand the power of their emotions, and like that it all starts with you and you have the ability to make or break. But I think that the tests that you may have been up against were just like the warm up. And that's not to say you have some crazy shit to come. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I think that it was more so a positive benefit for you than anything. So that way, when these other obstacles and blocks come up that you already know how to maneuver through in one way or another, you're equipped to do it the next time around. But your ability to explore the depths of your own emotions and maybe the emotions of other people is definitely what makes you stand out, and the ability to power through it, or power through the uncomfortable parts of emotions, is what is going to keep you afloat and what is going to continue to make you stand out in a crowd full of people. But how to I thank you so much for being here with me, and I pray this resonated with you. If it did, please let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe. You can also book a personal session with me. I do intuitive tarot reading as well as distance Reiki sessions over on my website at www.theangelicmuse.com. And you can also you can also follow me on Instagram at theangelicmuse as well if you'd like to connect with me over there. But other than that, I thank you so much for being here, and I pray you enjoy the rest of your day or night. Hey, Pile 3. So if you chose this unknown stone, here is your reading. And again, I'm really sorry I couldn't find the crystal name for that one. I tried to Google it and everything, but it didn't work out. So we're going to start out with your tarot. So for your first card, we have the Temperance. For your second card, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And then for your third card, I have the Six of Swords. So, I think that what makes you stand out the most, let's start out with this Temperance. The Temperance here, she's all about taking two completely different things, the alchemy, creating something from what was like two completely different things at a point. I mean, here it seems to be water, but even with the way she's pouring, nobody can pour like that. Realistically, like the way gravity and everything works, it just wouldn't work out. So she kind of does things that are feats or like incredible to others. But she does it also while maintaining a certain balance within herself and knowing that whatever she creates is going to be for the highest good. It's going to be beneficial to her, whoever it is that she's serving or helping out at the time. She's very bright. And again, she's an angel. She's angelic. And there's some sunflowers in here. So I just feel like your energy, you really have an amazing way of seeing things. With this Ace of Pentacles here reversed, I do feel like there may have been some moments that have come up for you where like missed opportunities, or or maybe people around you who may have had missed opportunities, or like I just feel like this energy, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, has to do with a lot of maybe not necessarily rejection, but just what feels like rejection to you or others. But with this Six of Swords here, there's a very calming essence that comes over it, and I feel like that's all you. Like, so say for example, you just have a great way of seeing the what others would consider to be the downside to things. You, like, for you, a missed opportunity or a no is just a yes to something else, or rejection is just a redirection into something else. So like you would take two things, like I said, and call it something completely different, and it would make sense to you and other people when you went to explain it. So you may be really good at giving advice, or again, like I said, just seeing the brighter side to things. I feel like with this Six of Swords here, it being two people in the card, like I said, you may be really good at advice, or people may come to you for advice. Maybe you were drawn to pile one in any way. I don't know. This is just giving me a feeling of that pile in a sense. Not exactly in its entirety. This is just if you were. If you weren't, just let's keep going. So, going back to what I was saying, it just seems like there's a very alchemic energy here, a very this or that, but put them both together and we'll create something entirely new type deal here. You may be good with your hands as well, or great at being patient. With this water here, water, like just traveling or doing anything by water is very slow. So I just feel like maybe you're great with timing, even with this temperance here, like just great with timing and knowing that everything works out in the way that it is supposed to, and that every detail matters. Like every small, tiny detail matters, no matter how insignificant others may see it to be. You have this way of seeing the brighter side, and not only that, but you have an eye for detail, which in turn gives you the ability to be able to maneuver through waters that others may not necessarily be able to. Let me get into your oracles here. So for your first card, you have Mars motion, represented by the number 22. You have artisan, craftsmanship. This one says raise or promotion. Congratulations, an increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. And then you have friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. So yeah, I think that, and it's interesting. Okay, so if you are a fire sign, if you're a Sagittarius, a Leo, or an Aries of any sort, this Mars, this redness in this card, like I said, I've mentioned that you could be good at giving advice, or a great friend, or like someone that people go to with this. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. You may be very like overprotective of your people, your friends, your family, and whatever it is around you. So I think there's a fieriness to you when it comes to defending that here. You may kind of like be on go when it comes to them, but also trying to keep them, like you're the type to say, no, I got it. I'm gonna go do this I'll handle it for you. You just chill out and relax. But I do feel like you're being advised here to like just maybe slow down a bit. It's a lot of redness going. Just don't compromise yourself in that energy. It definitely makes you stand out, because we all need a friend like that. But don't compromise yourself in the midst of it all too. You got to let people kind of deal on their own. But I do see here you're very loyal, you have this way with you that kind of raises the vibe or the energy. It calms it down. Even with this, I know this may not line up in the way, but the way I'm reading it, raise or promotion, you may actually speak life into your friends, your family, yourself, in order to like propel yourself, or to get people into, like, so though for those who do feel like they have a missed opportunity, like say if your friend didn't get this job, you're like, girl, like, you know what, or boy, whatever, like you already know this and this is coming, you still got this X, Y, and Z. Like you have a way of turning things around for yourself and others. And even with this artisan card, with the craftsmanship, artisans, I believe they build things with their hands. Like you can be an artisan in a bunch of stuff, like sewing and knitting, and like I think like pottery, maybe glass blowing, stuff like that. And it's just very attention to detail, like detail oriented. Not only that, but you got to take these very delicate, mindful steps with each weaving or with each blowing or whatever the case may be. So it's just a beautiful trait to have, because like you don't skip steps. You're able to alchemize with the steps. Like you'll see things other people won't see because they went too far ahead, and instead of like being able to maneuver through it, they kind of have like this wall here, whereas you're like, no, I already know how to pull through it. Like I got this, you know. And like I said, a lot of people might come to you for advice, your friends or whatever. Just don't don't compromise yourself in the name of anything, really. But you do have some these amazing qualities that could be taken advantage of for good or bad. It's just up to you to use your discernment here. You know, just know who to be that way to, or who to be that way for. But you have amazing, beautiful things coming your way just based off of the energy that you put out into the world, the positivity and the willingness and the abundance that you put out into the world. The intentions that you set are like coming back to you tenfold, because it stands out so much that it's hard for other people to ignore it too. So they kind of just want to give that to you. Of course, you're going to come across the more negative or whatever unwanted side of things, because you have such a beautiful light. But what stands out for you is that. So you want to be mindful of it on all ends. Know that what is meant for you will come, but you just kind of got to weed out like how to find the proper balance. Not that you don't have it, but continue on with the proper balance and having that temperance and that patience when it comes to those things, because it's going to take you very far. But with, like I said, with new levels come new devils, and you just going to keep on, like, you just got to keep on like building up that tolerance you have and that ability that you have, or that gift that you have, in order to create something out of two completely different things. Like I said, you just have that ability to you. But yeah, power 3, if you chose, like I said, the unknown stone, if I can figure out what that is, I'm definitely going to list it down in the comments. I mean, you know, edit this and put it in there, because I really don't know. But and I don't like when things don't, like, it bothers me too much. I'm going to try my best. If not, I'm going to leave it alone, whatever. But either way, I thank you all so much for being here. If this resonated with you, please let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe as well. If you'd like to book a personal session with me, you can do so. I do intuitive tarot sessions, as well as distance Reiki sessions over at my website at www.theangelicmuse.com. And you can also follow me over on Instagram at theangelicmuse if you want to connect with me over there as well. But other than that, I thank you all so much for being here with me, and I pray you enjoyed the rest